Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 40. We have made it. We have made it to a milestone, 40. I'm really grateful that you've all stuck with us, and a few of you continue to latch on and start to really get into it with us. And so thank you so much for your subscribership, for following, for liking the videos, for giving feedback. I love the interactions with everybody. You've been fantastic. As always, I will say, click that like button. Love for you to share the video with people. We also have a connection over to LinkedIn where we have the business edition of Chris and Brick that is more focused on, business, the art of and science of business, leadership, management, process improvement, development, things like that. We cover a lot of those areas. Those are what I call more of the dry topics. This is the fun channel. This is the one where we get to talk about the things that we find entertaining, but that we also find, are helpful to get to know each other, create a little bit of conversation back and forth between Brick and I, and then of course you if you're joining in on the conversation in the comment section. So I want to really encourage you all to do that as much as possible. As you can see, Brick has donned a new face mask. He's wearing his Iron Man because he's feeling a little Elon Muskish, with all the commotion going on in the cryptocurrency market and things like that. He's a big fan, and who can blame him? I mean, Elon Musk, for all the craziness that has surrounded him, he's a lot of fun. I think he's out there living his best life, and he's trying to show us that we can do it too. So just wanted to put that out there for you guys. Today, we really wanted just to kind of talk about sort of a hodgepodge of sort of like our top 20, conversation questions, things that might be interesting to know about one another. So it's a little bit more of getting to know each other, but also an opportunity for individuals to share their experiences as well. Before I do that, I do want to highlight that Brick is still looking for love. So anyone with suggestions, anyone with an app that might be useful for someone like Brick, I'm happy to help him get logged on, but I certainly want to make sure that he can feel like he's got some good companionship. So let's dive in. Let's talk about some of the interesting questions that I think Brick and I have been kind of mulling back and forth with one another, and kind of share what Brick finds is his opinion on these things, and I'll share what I find are my opinions on these things, and we'll keep it limited to between probably 10 and 20. We don't want to overdo it with everybody. One of the first ones is, what is one of the most annoying habits that someone can have? Brick tells me that it's really littering. Littering is a big one for him. Someone who's lived out on the streets cannot stand watching people just throw trash on the ground so carelessly, and I don't blame him, man. I'm not what you would classify as an environmentalist per se, but I don't just throw trash on the ground. The reason why the United States is considered probably one of the cleaner countries in the world has a lot to do with, it's been throughout our history for the last 50, 60 years. Give a hoot, don't pollute, that kind of stuff. And it's actually had an effect. So I agree with him. I think that's a really annoying habit. And the people that do it, I have no problem picking it right back up and throwing it right back at them. And not trying to start a fight, just trying to say, hey, this is not your right, this is not your space, and don't assume everyone else is going to clean up after you. You're an adult, act like one. And if you're a child, I want to tell your parents, teach your child how to be responsible. My particular, what I would call most annoying habit that someone can have is, there's this class of individual that no matter what topic you bring up, no matter what you choose to discuss, they're always only able to find sort of the negative aspect of it. I'm trying to think of a good example. If I say, geez, my cell phone seems to be picking up, on my my preferences a little bit more, in a kind of a creepy way. Then someone chimes in and all they can talk about is how creepy that is and how the government's conspiring to brainwash us and all. And I'm like, okay. I was just making it as a conversation piece. I wasn't trying to, create a coup against the government for recognizing that they have software that is listening to our conversations. While I don't particularly care for that, I also, I didn't bring it up to start World War III, right? So that's probably mine. It's just like, look, if you're going to have a negative approach to everything, leave it at home. No, I don't want it. Nobody really wants it. Even if you think they want it, they don't want it. I promise you that. Another one is, another annoying trait, and I'll just throw this one in there, is the one-upman. That person that every time you share a story with them, they're like, I know exactly what you're talking about, but I had an experience that was 10 times worse, and let me tell you about mine. And I'm like, I didn't ask for yours. I was just telling you what I just went through, And it doesn't mean that your experience isn't interesting. It's just know your audience and know the context and know the moment and know when it's time to actually share that information and know when it's time to shut your cake hole, Be quiet. Agreed? I realize you probably haven't had as many of those engagements, but if I did that to you every time, don't you think you'd be pretty upset? I think you'd whip out some of those Iron Man powers and blast me across the room. Let's see. How often do I stay up past 3 a.m.? Well, Brick, how often do you stay up past 3 a.m.? Brick actually does not. He stays up periodically, meaning he sleeps when he sleeps. So it may be that he's up at 3 a.m., but he may be asleep at 5 a.m., and then he may be asleep at 9 a.m., and then he may be asleep at 1 p.m. But Brick gets a lot of good rest. I, on the other hand, I try not to stay up that late. I do have momentary bouts of insomnia and things of that nature. But for the most part, I try to keep it around, midnight, 1 o'clock at the latest. So if it's 3 a.m., it's generally an outlier. So I don't stay up past 3 a.m. very long. Let's see. What's my favorite season? What's your favorite season? Really? Okay. Yeah. So Brick's favorite season is summer. Well, you live in the right part of the world for that. Orlando is definitely summer. It feels like all year round. And why is it your favorite? Really? I guess Douglas has an opinion too. So Brick says, hey. I'm in the middle of a recording here. I need you to calm your jets. I need you to calm your jets. I'm in the middle of a recording here. So Brick says that his reasoning is because he likes the freedom to be outside, minimally covered. Likes to feel the heat of the sun, on his exterior. I don't know if you'd call it skin. I will say that my favorite seasons are, I'm going to say two. One is fall and the other is winter. I love cold weather. I love bundling up in cold, in heavy clothes. And I love having a slight chill in the air. It just feels so good to me. So that's my seasons. And why? I don't know. I just grew up, I suppose I grew up in the South. I have experienced, some chilly days here and there, but what I will say is that I also grew up in the North and the Northwest, and I have some beautiful memories and experiences of, just great snowstorms. And being a kid at the time, it was just fun. So I have good fun memories of it, and that's why I think I really appreciate. And fall, just the colors in those areas up north especially. There's just nothing like it. So. Well, this is kind of a silly question, I think, but which is more important, having a great car or a great house, and why? I don't know that do you have an opinion on that? Yeah, I didn't think so. He doesn't care about houses. Oh, that's not true. You do care about houses. As long as he gets to be a strong participant in the construction of the house, Brick believes that a great house is much more important than a great car. I will say this, I really don't care about either one. As long as what is needed is available, car or house. I do have a very nice car I'm very happy with. I've had it for several years. It's a sport utility vehicle. It has low mileage on it because I lived in India for a couple of years. But and that's great. As far as a house is concerned, I mean, a house is where you choose to feel like you're at home. So, I'm living in Orlando right now. This is my home. Sometimes it doesn't always feel like home, but most of the time I'm able to make it feel that way. So yeah. What animals or insects do you wish humans could eradicate? So Brick is not a fan of rats, it turns out. And it appears because they will actually chew through a brick without too much difficulty. So he's not a big fan of rats, and I can't blame him for that, although I've not run into too many rats myself. Mine is going to be just out of pure terror. Like, I hate spiders. I know the ecological and the impact that they have on balancing out our ecosystem. But man, I mean, can we get another thing that's less creepy? I mean, it would be cool if there was just a giant sort of a creature that was shaped like a vacuum cleaner, and all it did was suck them up and then do something with them, like spit them out into a pit, and they can just be buried. But otherwise, I would be okay if we could just not have spiders around. What is the most beautiful place near where I live? What do you think is the most beautiful place? Okay, I agree with you there for your sake. So Brick's idea of the most beautiful place is the train station right next door, and it really is kind of cool. It's got a sort of a retro feel to it. The only thing I don't like about it is that there's so many trains that do in fact go by. But for me, I would say the most beautiful place nearby is a lake called Lake Eola. It's got a lot of foot traffic because there's a lot of people that go and walk around there a lot, but that doesn't detract from its beauty. I mean, it's just a really serene and peaceful place, even with the heavy foot traffic. There's some nice restaurants around. It's a really beautiful place, and I enjoy going there quite a bit. I'm gonna ask one or two more, and then I think we'll wrap it. It's been a long day. Brick's tired. I'm feeling a little bit wiped out myself. How much time do you spend on the internet, and what do you usually do? Well, Brick will tell you that this is what Brick usually does when he's on the internet. He sits here and he has conversations with me, and he does it to the tune of at least 2 to 3 times a day. We usually are either talking business or we're talking personal. This is the personal edition. The business edition we published earlier today. And then for me, I actually do these, but I also do a few different things as well. I mean, obviously I pay bills. I do some research on some various jobs that I'm in the market for. I make sure that I'm engaging with people on my LinkedIn profile so that people are aware of who I am and what my skills and abilities are, etc. But then I also participate in a couple of other podcasts where I'll go on live sessions. There's the Keto Abashi podcast, which I'll put a link to in the section below. I'll also put a link to my LinkedIn business edition down below. So I spend a lot of time doing things where I'm engaging with other people, even though it's a remote environment. But it's been a very positive, and it's actually got kind of a therapeutic quality to it as well. I mean, it's not as nearly as therapeutic as getting to engage with people one-on-one or in a group setting where we're all close together and get to talk and feel each other's energy, kind of going around and so forth. But that's what I would say is what how much time, several hours a day, and why, the things I just mentioned. So when and where was the most amazing sunset you have ever seen? Well, Brick has not seen too many sunsets until he moved in with me, so I would say that if I was betting, the most amazing sunset you've probably seen is here. And I would have to agree. Like, I live on the 27th floor of an apartment building that faces exactly west. And every night when it's a clear night, the sun sets, and I have some of the most amazing pictures. Maybe I'll share one up here with you guys on this video for you to check out. But yeah, there have been some just breathtaking videos. Sunsets that I've been able to capture. So yeah. So you know what? I think I'm going to leave it on that one. A nice, powerful sunset. A nice, just a good overall experience. So this is our Q&A with Chris and Brick, just talking about sort of general items, things that things you might not have known about us, and now you know. So thanks for tuning in. Again, if you don't mind, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. This video went a little bit longer than normal, about 16 minutes or so. I appreciate you spending as much time listening through it as you can. And hopefully you'll get something out of it for yourself. And I'd love to hear what your feedback is on some of these questions that I posed out there. So we'll talk soon. We'll talk to you tomorrow, in fact. So look out for episode 41. Episode 41, we're getting close to 50. 50 is going to be a big episode. I'm going to have to figure out what I want the topic to be there, but I'm looking forward to that. And I see we're going to get there pretty quick. So talk to you all soon. Have a good night.